Hey there, and welcome. Today, we're basically going on a little grammatical detective mission. We're going to pull back the curtain on some of the most common words we use, verbs, and uncover the secret lives they lead inside our sentences. So get ready for Verbs in Disguise, a guide to verbal phrases. All right, let's jump right into the puzzle, shall we? Take a look at this sentence. Running a business requires running yourself ragged, all while your running shoes gather dust. The word running shows up 3 times. But it's doing 3 completely different jobs. I mean, how is that even possible? Trust me, by the time we're done here, you're going to be able to spot the difference in a heartbeat.
So, the secret here is something called a verbal. These are words that look 100% like verbs, but they're actually working undercover, kind of moonlighting as other parts of speech. Our job today is to unmask these imposters and figure out what they're really doing in our sentences.
So, what exactly is a verbal phrase? Well, it's just a group of words that starts with one of these verbals. And here's the absolute key. This whole group of words acts like one single thing, a noun, an adjective, or an adverb, but it never acts as the main verb of the sentence. Now that we've got that down, let's meet our first suspect.
First up in our lineup, we have the gerund. This is a verb, always ending in ing, that's decided, you know what, I think I'm going to be a noun today. It puts on a noun costume and just goes for it. It's the ultimate noun imposter.
And sometimes a gerund brings along its friends, words that modify it or act as its object. When that happens, you get a gerund phrase. But here's the thing, no matter how big its crew gets, the whole phrase still only does one job, a noun's job.
And this disguise, it's really good. I mean, a gerund can do anything a regular old noun can do. It can be the subject, like in studying is hard work. It can be the object. Some students enjoy studying. It can even be the object of a preposition or a subject complement. Yeah, it's a flawless disguise.
And what's cool is, this idea scales up really easily. We can take our simple gerund, studying, and expand it into a whole phrase, studying English grammar. But get this, its job doesn't change one bit. That whole phrase still works as the subject, the object, or whatever noun role you need it to fill. It's just a more detailed noun. Okay, but what if you want to make it negative? You might think it's complicated, but it is so simple. Because that whole gerund phrase acts like a single unit, a single noun, you just stick not right in front of it. Boom! The entire phrase, not studying English grammar, can now be the subject of your sentence. Easy.
All right, time to meet our second suspect, the participle. So if the gerund was the noun imposter, think of the participle as the verb that's all about dressing up as an adjective. Its whole purpose in life is to describe other nouns.
Now, these guys come in 2 main flavors. You've got the present participle, which, yep, you guessed it, also ends in ing. It describes something that's actively happening, like a boring book. The book is doing the boring. Then you've got the past participle, usually ending in ed. This describes something that was done to the noun, like an embarrassed child. Something else embarrassed the child. Okay, so when you actually go to use these in your writing, you got to know where the commas go. But don't worry, it's pretty straightforward. If the phrase kicks off the sentence, you put a comma right after it. If it's wedged in the middle, you wrap it in commas on both sides. And if it's at the end, a comma goes right before it. Simple rules for some really powerful descriptions.
Okay, here it is, the moment of truth. Both gerunds and present participles end in ing. They look totally identical. So, how in the world do you tell them apart when they're staring you down in a sentence? It's time for the showdown.
Okay, so the big difference, the thing that splits them apart, is their job. A gerund phrase always acts as a noun. It answers the question who or what. A participial phrase always acts as an adjective. It answers which one or what kind. That's the technical rule, but honestly, I've got an even easier trick up my sleeve for you.
And here it is. This is the secret weapon for any grammar detective, the it substitution test. This little trick will unmask that ing word for you every single time. Let's see how it works. All right, let's put it to the test. Here's our first sentence. The phrase we're looking at is doing crossword puzzles. Is it a noun? Is it an adjective? Let's apply the test and find out. So we're just going to swap out that whole phrase, doing crossword puzzles, with the word it. Does it relaxes Lyle? Makes sense. Totally. It works perfectly. And because it is a pronoun and it can stand in for a noun, we've just proved that doing crossword puzzles is a gerund phrase. Case closed. Okay, round 2. Here's our next sentence. The phrase in question is,
while waiting for takeoff. Let's see what happens when we try to swap in it this time.
So we try it. The flight attendants passed out magazines. Yeah, that's just nonsense, right? It doesn't work at all. And that's our clue. The fact that the substitution fails tells us the phrase is not acting like a noun. It has to be a participle phrase. See? Simple. The test never lies.
So we've unmasked the two ing imposters, but our investigation isn't over just yet. There's one more verbal out there. This one doesn't wear an ing disguise. This is the infinitive, the to plus verb guy. And let me tell you, this one is the master of all trades. So an infinitive phrase, it's easy to spot. It always kicks off with to, and then the basic dictionary form of a verb. And its superpower is just how versatile it is. Unlike our ing specialists, the infinitive phrase can be a noun, an adjective, or an adverb. It's like a grammatical chameleon.
Seriously, think of the infinitive as the Swiss Army knife of verbals. I mean, just look at the range here. It can be a noun, acting as the subject, like to find a good job is an important goal, or the object. Most people want to find a good job. It can be an adjective, describing a noun, a lot of work to do, or an adverb, telling us why, leaving now to get to her class. It can even complete the meaning of an adjective. It really can do it all.
And hey, for all you writers watching, this next bit is for you. A little practical tip. This is just a short list of really common verbs that are almost always followed by an infinitive. Getting to know this pattern will just make your writing flow so much more naturally. Verbs like agree, decide, hope, and prepare are all basically signals that an infinitive is probably on its way.
And there we have it. The case is officially cracked. You've met the three main types of verbs in disguise. The gerund, our noun imposter, the participle, our adjective imposter, and the super versatile infinitive. You are now fully equipped to spot these guys out in the wild.
So the real question I want to leave you with is this. Knowing this stuff isn't just about passing a grammar test. It's about giving you more tools, more options, more power as a writer. Now that you've got these tools in your belt, how are you going to use them to make your writing more powerful, more precise, and more interesting? That's all for this explainer. Happy writing.